You open your eyes every morning. Light spills across the room and brushes your skin. The world begins to move. Alarms ring, messages blink. The hum of life grows louder, and yet something inside you stays still. Your body wakes, but your soul hesitates. Lingering somewhere between yesterday and now, you breathe, walk, work, speak, but somewhere beneath the surface you know, you're functioning, not feeling. You're awake, but not alive. Your body rises faithfully each day, while your spirit hides under layers of noise, the lists waiting to be checked off, the endless scrolling, the quiet ache to be enough. The world keeps spinning, and you keep up, smiling when you should, replying when expected, nodding even when you're miles away inside dot, and though no one around you seems to notice. A soft voice does, a whisper buried deep beneath thought. It speaks just before you silence the alarm, a breath before you remember who you need to be. It says, "This can't be all there is." That whisper is your soul remembering. It's the most honest part of you, the part that knows existence was never meant to be mechanical. It doesn't want you to run from your life. It wants you to wake differently inside it, because most people wake up to survive the day. But you were meant to wake up to create it. Look again at the light on your walls. It's not just brightness. It's energy waiting for your attention. Each sunrise is an invitation to rewire the mind, a sacred reset that begins the moment you breathe consciously. Your brain recalibrates its rhythm, your body synchronizes to your thoughts, your emotions choose which reality you will perceive. Whatever you feel now becomes the frequency that guides your entire day. That's not poetry, that's physiology, the science of consciousness meeting the mystery of spirit. You are both experiment and miracle at once. But here's the truth most never see. You don't transform your life by changing what you do. You transform it by changing who you are while doing it. The energy you bring to each moment shapes what it becomes. If your mornings begin in rush, you will spend the day chasing your own noise. But if you begin in awareness, the world begins to mirror your calm. That's why this space exists, to remind you that awakening is not an event. It's a practice. It's the art of remembering over and over that you are more than your habits, more than your thoughts, more than the mask of being busy. So before you reach for your phone, before you step into the demands of the day, pause here, breathe, close your eyes, even as the sun rises. This time, don't wake to the world, wake within it. Feel the breath slide through you. Inhale slowly through your nose, exhale softly through your lips. Notice how your body begins to soften, how the sound of your own breathing becomes proof that you still belong here, still capable of presence, still capable of peace. Every conscious breath whispers to the brain, "I am safe." And only when the mind believes you are safe can the soul unfold its wings again. You've been living in survival for so long that stillness feels foreign, like silence after thunder. But silence isn't empty. It's filled with direction. It speaks in sensations, not words. If you can listen, it will guide you. If you can slow down, it will show you. If you can trust it, it will change you. This morning isn't like the others. You didn't stumble here by accident. Something ancient inside you pressed play, the part that remembers how to live instead of repeat. Right now, a subtle shift is happening. The version of you that kept striving, performing, pretending, is dissolving with the shadows of night. And the one waking up now is not chasing life. She's receiving it. You don't have to fix her. You only have to meet her. The one who knows how to feel again. So breathe once more. Let the air move through you like light through water. Notice the weight you no longer need to carry. The body relaxes, the mind clears, and what remains is awareness itself, the quiet witness behind every thought. The infinite stillness that has always been here, waiting for you to remember. From this moment on, you will never wake the same way again. Because once you've seen the difference between motion and meaning, between existing and experiencing, you cannot go back to sleep. Welcome to a new kind of morning, one that begins not with noise, but with knowing. A morning that starts inside you, where light is not something you see, but something you are. There's something different about being here. Maybe you felt it too, that every time you return to this space, your breathing slows a little faster, your shoulders drop a little sooner, your thoughts soften a little more. It's because this isn't just another video. It's a frequency, a sanctuary that remembers who you are when the world makes you forget. Each time you listen, your mind learns to return more easily. Each time you breathe with intention, your nervous system finds its way back to peace. And that's the quiet secret. Peace doesn't come from control. It comes from practice. It's not found. It's remembered. This is what happens when you allow yourself to pause. Not just stop, pause. Stopping is resistance. Pausing is awareness. And awareness is where everything changes. You begin to sense the world again, not through your thoughts, but through your senses. The air against your skin, the rhythm of your pulse, the hum of morning life just beyond your window. These are not small things. They're invitations, each one calling you back into the moment where life is actually happening. The truth is, you can't live your life from your head alone. The brain was designed to process, but the body was designed to feel. And together, they create the music of being alive. So place a hand over your heart now. Feel it, steady. You've spent years learning how to react. That's your oldest rhythm. Now it's time to remember how to respond. It's been keeping time for you since before you learned what time even was. It's not the absence of movement. With every most intelligent movement, your body whispers, "I'm still here." Between impulse and maybe for the first time in a long time, where your real power lives. You're actually listening. When you start living, you don't have to fix the noise. The world stops feeling like something you only have to stop confusing it with your truth, like something that happens. You are not your rushing thoughts. That's the moment your energy begins to lead. Routines. Every thought. You are the awareness. Every emotion that watches them. Every word becomes an act of creation, drifting across a steady sky. Nothing is ordinary anymore. This awareness, the way the mind moves across the floor, itself, the sound of water. It learns that stillness is between your words. It learns that it doesn't have to protect you anymore because you are alive again. This is the science of calm. You begin to see that peace isn't stillness. The brain rewires its patterns. It's choosing where your attention creating new connections, protecting that new responses, like sacred ground, new ways of seeing the same energy. Not because that's how transformation happens, but because they give it unconsciously, but by repetition and hand their focus every morning. You choose calm. You strengthen that neural pathway to approval. Every breath you take consciously is a new line of code. You've remembered what it feels like to hold your energy. You're not escaping reality. You're upgrading your access to it. So if the world feels too loud today, to pause, remember before you react. You don't have to match its what presence looks like in action. Let your calm be the quiet gravity that pulls everything back into the noise. Because even when no one's looking, it's not everything around you begins to rearrange. It's about
People
returning
respond
faster
differently.
every time you forget.
Moments stretch,
And that return
the day
is your
starts to
real
feel
awakening
like it's
dot.
working with
Each
you.
time you come back
Not
to
against
yourself,
you.
your nervous
That's the
system
power of inner
resets its
coherence.
rhythm. When your breath,
Each time
your
you
body,
choose awareness
and
over
your
reaction
mind
are all
your
moving
brain
to the
strengthens
same rhythm.
the pathways of
And maybe
peace.
this is why you
This
found
is
your way here
neuroplasticity
again.
in motion.
To
The
remember
mind
what
reorganizing
that rhythm
itself
feels
around
like.
calm dot.
To learn
So
how to
if
trust
you've been
it.
wondering why
To
the
live
world
from it.
feels lighter
Because
lately,
trust isn't
it's
built
because
in a
you are
single
no longer
breakthrough.
feeding it with resistance.
It's built in the tiny
You
moments
are feeding
when you
it
choose
with
awareness
presence
over
and
autopilot.
the universe always
So breathe
amplifies
again.
what you give it.
Slow,
When
deliberate,
you move with awareness,
alive. You'll notice how
inhale
time
light.
begins to stretch. Exhale the weight
You
of
get
yesterday
more done
that you
without
are not
hurrying.
behind.
You
You
feel
are
more
rebuilding
connected
from
without
stillness.
forcing. And every
The
time
right
you
words
return
find
here,
you without
it gets
effort.
easier to remember
And
that
even silence
you are not
becomes
trying
full
to
of
be
meaning.
someone
New.
This is the
You're
kind of
remembering
focus
someone
the world
true
can
dot.
feel. So let this
It's
moment
quiet
expand.
but magnetic. Let your
It
awareness
draws harmony
fill
out of
every
chaos
corner
and turns
of your
confusion
body.
into direction.
The peace you feel
Because
right
when you
now
stop
is not
scattering
fragile.
your attention,
It's foundational.
you
dot.
stop
It's
scattering
not
your
something
power
you
dot.
need to
So
chase
today,
or hold
as
onto.
you move through your
It's
world,
something that will always
carry
be
yourself
waiting
as
for
someone
you the
who
moment
knows
you
her
decide
energy
to
is
return.
sacred.
Because
Let every
every
step,
step,
awakening
every gesture
really means
every
not
word
becoming
be
more,
a declaration
but
of
remembering
intention
that you already
when you
are.
walk
You
slowly.
open your eyes every
When you
morning.
speak softly.
Light spills across
When
the
you
room
listen,
and brushes
listen
your skin.
fully.
The
That's
world
how you
begins
shift
to
the
move.
energy of a room.
Alarms ring
without
messages
saying a
blink.
word. The hum
Presence
of life
is not
grows
about
louder,
perfection.
and yet
It's about
something
coherence.
inside you stays still.
When your inner and
your
outer
body
worlds
wakes,
begin
but
to
your
match,
soul hesitates,
your reality has
lingering
no choice
somewhere
but to
between
rearrange
yesterday
itself.
and now.
And that's when the
You
miracles
breathe,
start.
walk,
Not loud,
work, not
speak,
dramatic, but
somewhere
subtle
beneath
and
the
precise.
surface, you know.
The
You're
email
functioning,
that arrives
not
at the
feeling.
right moment. You're awake.
The person who says
but
exactly
not alive.
what you needed
Your
to
body
hear.
rises faithfully
The opportunity
each day
that appears
while
just
your
as you
spirit
stop
hides
chasing.
under layers
These
of
are not
noise.
coincidences.
The lists waiting
They're
to be checked
confirmations.
off. The endless
Proof
scrolling,
that your energy
the quiet
and your
ache to be
environment
enough.
are finally
The world keeps
speaking
spinning
the same language,
and you keep up.
This is what it
smiling when
means
you
to
should,
live awake,
replying when
to
expected.
realize
Nodding
that you are
even
the
when you're
translator
miles
between
away inside
thought
dot
and
though
reality
no
dot,
one around
and
you
every time
seems
you
to
return
notice.
here, a
You
soft voice
refine
does
that
a
translation
whisper buried deep
You
beneath
build
thought.
a life that doesn't
It
drain
speaks
you,
just
but
before you
reflects
silence
you.
the alarm,
Because
a
what
breath
you
before
embody,
you remember
you
who
attract.
you need to be,
And what you
It
focus
says,
on,
this
you
can't be all
expand
there
dot.
is.
So breathe in that
That
truth.
whisper is your soul
Let it anchor in your
remembering.
body.
It's the
You
most
are not
honest
just
part of
observing
you,
the moment.
part that knows
You are
existence
shaping it.
was never meant
This
to be
is the
mechanical.
power you've always
It doesn't
had.
want you to run
Buried
from your
beneath
life.
the noise of
It
survival.
wants you to wake differently
The power
inside
to
it.
feel, because
choose,
most people
to respond.
wake up to survive
the
the
power
day.
to transform
But
chaos
you,
into coherence.
you were meant
dot.
to wake up
And
to
now
create
that you've
it.
remembered it.
Look again
You'll
at the
never
light
lose
on
it
your
again.
walls. You might
It's
forget
not
for
just
a while.
brightness, but forgetting
It's energy
is not
waiting
failure.
for your
It's
attention.
the invitation to return.
Each sunrise is an invitation to
again
rewire
and
the
again,
mind to this
a
presence
sacred
that
reset
lives in
that
you,
begins the moment
to
you
this
breathe
rhythm that
consciously.
breathes through you. Your brain
To this quiet
recalibrates
knowing
its
that
rhythm.
whispers, your
I
body
am not
synchronizes
behind.
to your thoughts.
I am becoming.
Your emotions choose
There comes
which
a moment
reality
when
you
presence
perceive.
stops
being something
Whatever you
practice
feel
and
now becomes the
something
frequency
that
moves
guides
through
your
you.
entire day.
You start to notice
That's
it in
not
small
poetry.
ways.
That's
The way your
physiology.
hands move slower
The
when
science
you
of
make your morning
consciousness
coffee.
meeting the mystery of
The way you
spirit.
breathe before
You are
responding
both
to
experiment
someone and miracle
The way
at once.
silence no longer
But here's the
feels
truth:
empty,
most
but
never
full.
see.
As if
You don't
life itself
transform
is
your
exhaling
life
through
by
you.
changing what you
This
do.
is how transformation
You
begins.
transform it by
Not
changing
in loud
who you
moments
are
of
while
change,
doing it, but in the quiet
The energy you
rewiring
bring
of
to
your
each
attention.
moment
Shapes
because
what it
awareness
becomes.
is not fragile.
If your mornings
It's
begin
magnetic.
in rush,
Whatever
you
you
spend
hold
the
in
day
awareness
chasing
long
your
enough
own
begins
noise.
to shift. But if
you
you
start
begin
to
in
feel
awareness,
more connected
the
to your
world
choices.
begins to mirror your calm.
You say yes.
That's
why
with your
this
whole
space
body.
exists. To
You
remind
say
you
no
that awakening
without guilt.
is not an event.
You move not from
It's a
fear,
practice,
but from alignment.
It's the art of remembering,
and the people around
over
you
and
notice.
over, even if
that
they
you
can't
are
name
more
it.
than your habits.
Something about
more
your
than your
energy
thoughts
feels different.
more than the
Your
mask
lighter,
of being busy,
but more grounded.
So before you reach
Calmer,
for your
but more
phone,
powerful.
Before you
You're
step
no
into the
longer
demands of the
chasing
day,
flow. You've
pause
become
here.
it. That's
Breathe.
the paradox of
Close
awakening.
your eyes.
The
Even
more
as
you
the
let
sun
go,
rises,
the more everything
time,
finds you. Don't wake to the
you
world.
stop
Wake
controlling
within it,
and life
Feel
begins
the
to
breath
cooperate
slide
through you.
You stop
Inhale
forcing outcomes,
slowly
and
through your
opportunities
nose.
start to
Exhale
arrive
softly
unannounced.
through your lips.
You stop
Notice
rushing,
how your
and
body
somehow
begins to soften.
Time expands.
How the
the
sound
sound
of
of
your
your
own
own
breathing
breathing because
becomes
life
proof
has always
that you
been
still
responding
belong
to
here.
your energy,
Still capable
you
of
just
presence.
weren't quiet enough,
Still
to feel
capable
it.
of peace.
Now, every
That
conscious
silence
breath
is your
whispers
strength.
to the brain,
It's
"I
where
am
your
safe."
intuition
And
speaks
only
clearly.
when the mind
where
believes
clarity
you are safe
blooms without
can
effort.
the soul unfold
And
its
from that
wings
stillness,
again.
action
You've been
feels
living
different.
in survival for so
It's
long
no longer
that
reaction.
stillness feels
It's
foreign.
creation.
Like
You'll
silence
notice
after
yourself
thunder.
doing less,
but silence
achieving
isn't
more.
empty.
It's
Speaking
filled
less,
with direction,
but meaning more.
It speaks in
wanting
sensations,
less, but
not
feeling
words.
fuller.
Because
If you can
alignment
listen,
doesn't
it
demand,
will guide you.
it attracts.
If you can
And the
slow
more
down,
aligned you
it
become,
will show you.
the more your world
if you can
starts
trust
to look
it,
like
it
the
will
inner
change
peace
you.
you've
This
been
morning
practicing
isn't like the
That's
others.
when you realize
you didn't stumble
never
here
needed
by
to
accident.
chase transformation.
Something ancient
You
inside
only
you
needed to
pressed
stop
play.
interrupting
the
it.
part that remembers
The moment
how to
you
live
stopped
instead of
running from
repeat.
stillness,
right now,
you began
a
to
subtle
meet
shift is
yourself
happening.
in truth. The version
And
of
truth
you
is
that
not
kept
dramatic,
striving,
it's
performing,
deeply, quietly
pretending,
alive,
is
God.
dissolving
So if
with
you're
the shadows
wondering
of
where
night.
to go from here,
And the one waking
start
up
exactly
now is
where
not
you are.
chasing life.
Every
She's
place
receiving
is sacred
it.
when
You
entered
don't
with
have
awareness.
to fix her.
Every
You
path
only
is
have
right
to
when
meet
walked
her.
in calm.
The one who
you
knows
don't
how
need
to
to plan
again
as much
dot.
as you need
So
presence.
breathe once more.
You don't need to know
Let
the
the
how.
air move through
only
you
to remember
like light
the who.
through water.
The one who can
Notice
sit in
the weight you no
uncertainty
longer
and still
need to
feel
carry.
safe.
The
That's
body
the heart
relaxes.
of transformation.
The mind clears.
Learning
and
to
what
trust
remains
what you
is
can't
awareness
yet see.
itself.
The
Because
quiet
the path
witness
reveals
behind
itself
every
only
thought.
to the ones who keep
The
walking
infinite
in
stillness
faith.
that has always
So as
been
you
here.
listen now,
Waiting
let
for you
this
to
truth
remember
sink
from
into
this
your
moment
breath.
on. The
You
life
will
you
never
want
wake the
isn't
same
waiting
way
to
again.
appear. It's
Because
waiting for
once
you
you've
to
seen
align
the
with
difference
it.
between
Everything
motion
that
and
once
meaning,
felt
between
distant
existing
is already
and
on its
experiencing.
way toward your
You
energy.
cannot
go back to
It's
sleep.
not about deserving.
Welcome to a
It's
new
about
kind
allowing.
of morning. One
Not
that
about
begins
control,
not with
but
noise,
coherence.
but with knowing.
And coherence
A
is
morning
created
that
when
starts
your heart
inside
and
you,
mind
where
speak
light
the
is
same
not something
language.
you see.
When
But
thought and
something
emotion
you are.
no longer fight,
There's something
but
different
dance.
about being here.
When you stop dividing
Maybe
yourself
you felt
between
it too,
who you are
that
and
every
who you
time you return
think
to
you
this
should
space,
be,
you'll
your
know the
breathing
shift has
slows a
happened
little
when
faster.
life stops. Your shoulders
Feeling
drop
like a
little
battle
sooner
and starts feeling
your
like a
thoughts soften
conversation.
a little more.
You begin to
It's
sense
because
the
this
tea,
isn't just another
rhythm
video.
of things.
How
It's a
every
frequency,
delay is direction.
a sanctuary that
How
remembers
every
who you are
silence
when
holds
the
a
world
message.
makes you forget.
How even endings
Each time
carry
you
an
listen,
unseen
your
blessing.
mind learns to
That's when
return
you
more
begin
easily.
to trust the timing.
Each time you breathe
stop
with
asking,
intention,
"Why now?"
your nervous system
and
finds
start
its way
whispering,
back to peace.
"Thank you."
And that's
Because
because
the
the
truth
truth
is,
is, life
peace
has
doesn't
always
come
been
from
on
control.
your side. It comes
Even
from
when
practice.
it broke you open.
It
was
not
opening
found.
space for something
It's remembered.
new to enter.
This is what happens
Even when
you
it
allow
felt still,
yourself to pause.
It was waiting for
Not
you
just
to
stop,
align.
pause.
Transformation
Stopping
doesn't
is
shout.
resistance. It hums
Pausing is
quietly
awareness.
beneath your ribs.
And awareness
It
is where
breathes with
everything
you,
changes,
grows with you,
You
and
begin to
shows
sense
itself
the
in
world
the way
again.
you begin to
not
love
through your
differently.
thoughts,
You
but through
love
your
slower,
senses, but deeper.
The air against your skin.
You speak softer,
The rhythm
but
of your
truer.
pulse.
You
The
live
hum of
quieter,
morning life,
but
just
fuller.
beyond your window
And
dot.
one morning,
These are not
you'll
small
wake
things.
and realize that you don't
They're
have to try
invitations.
anymore.
Each
You've
one
become
calling you
everything
back
you were
into the
trying
moment
to reach.
where life is
That
actually
is
happening.
transformation.
The truth is, not
You
escape.
can't live your life
Not arrival.
from your head alone.
Just remembering.
The brain was
in every
designed to
breath,
process,
every
but the body
pause,
was designed
every
to feel.
heartbeat, that
And
you were
together,
never separate
they
from
create
peace.
the music of being alive.
There's a moment
so
quiet,
place a hand
almost
over your heart
invisible.
now. When the
Feel
mind
it,
stops
steady,
trying to understand
patient,
and
constant.
simply allows itself
That's
to
your
feel.
oldest rhythm.
That's where you
It's
are
been
now.
keeping time for
in
you
the
since
stillness.
before you
You're
learned
no longer
what searching
searching
for
for
calm
calm.
was.
You're breathing
every
as calm
beat.
itself.
Your body
no
whispers,
longer chasing
I'm
meaning.
still here.
You've become the
And maybe
meaning
for
that
the first
world
time in a
outside
long
hasn't
time,
changed much.
you're
But
actually
you have.
listening.
You
And
don't
that
have
changes
to fix
everything.
the noise
The
inside
rhythm
your
of
mind.
your breath feels
You
new.
only have to stop
But it's
confusing
ancient,
it with your
the
truth.
same rhythm that moved
You are
through
not
you
your
as a
rushing
child,
thoughts
before you
nor
learned
your
what
tired
fear was.
routines.
Before you
You are
learned
the
how to
awareness
hurry.
that watches
You're
them
returning
come and
to that
go,
rhythm now,
like clouds
the
drifting
natural
across a
intelligence
steady
of
sky.
being.
The more
The
you
effortless
return
harmony
to this
of
awareness,
simply existing,
the more the
that's
mind
the
begins to
integration.
quiet itself.
When
awareness stops
it
being
learns
something
that stillness
you remember
is safe,
and becomes
it
the
learns
air
that
you
it doesn't
breathe,
have to protect you
you
anymore.
start to notice.
This is the science
beauty
of
in
calm.
ordinary
When
moments.
safety replaces
The sound
fear,
of rain
the
becomes
brain
music.
rewires its
The
patterns.
pause between words
It starts
feels
creating
like
new
rest.
connections, new
Even
responses.
silence feels
new
full,
ways of seeing
because
the same
presence
world.
has filled the
That's
space
how
where
transformation
pressure used
happens.
to live.
Not by
and
effort,
when you live like
but
this,
by repetition
something
and presence.
profound
Every
begins to
morning
happen.
you choose
You
calm.
stop looking for
You
signs
strengthen that neural
and start
pathway.
being the sign.
Every
Your
breath
calm
you
becomes
take
contagious.
consciously
Is a new
Your
line
peace
of code
becomes
written
permission.
into your biology.
The way you move,
You're not
speak,
escaping reality.
and simply exist
You're upgrading
reminds
your
others
access
that
to
softness
it.
is not weakness.
So if the world
It's
feels
wisdom.
too loud today,
You don't need to
remember,
convince anyone
you
to
don't
understand
have to
you.
match its volume.
You don't need to prove
Let
how
your calm
far
be
you've
the quiet
come.
gravity that pulls
Your
everything
energy
back
speaks in
into
a
balance.
language older than
Because
words.
when you reconnect
And
with
those
yourself,
who are meant to
everything
understand
around
it
you begins to
always
rearrange.
will.
That's
People
what alignment
respond
looks
differently.
like. The
Moments
quiet confidence
stretch.
of someone who
The
trusts
day
the
starts to
unseen.
feel like it's working
Someone
with you.
who knows that
Not
peace
against
isn't
you.
the reward at
That's
the
the
end
power
of
of
the road.
inner coherence.
It's the road
When your
itself.
breath, your body,
And when you walk
and
that
your
road,
mind
are all
life
moving
starts
to the
to
same
meet you
rhythm.
halfway.
And maybe
You
this is
stop
why you
forcing
found your way
and
here
start
again.
flowing. To remember
You
what
stop
that
waiting
rhythm feels
and
like.
start allowing.
To learn how to trust
You
it.
stop fighting
to
for
live from
control
it.
and
Because
begin
trust
to
isn't
receive
built
what
in a
was
single
yours all
breakthrough.
along.
It's
It's
built
built in the
return,
tiny moments
not
when you
to
choose
who you
awareness
were,
over autopilot.
but to who you've
So
always
breathe
been
beneath
again.
the noise.
Slow,
So as you
deliberate,
listen now,
alive.
let these words
Inhale
settle deep
light.
into your breath.
Exhale
You
the
are
weight
safe
of
yesterday.
You
are not
are
behind.
guided.
You are
not
rebuilding from
behind.
stillness. You are
And
exactly
every time
where
you
your
return
path
here,
needed you.
it gets
to be
easier to remember
and
that.
as you move,
You are
through
not
the
trying
day
to be
ahead,
someone.
Carry this
new.
awareness.
You're
like
remembering
golden light in
someone
your
true.
chest. So let
it
moment
remind you
expand.
that every moment
Let
is a
your
chance
awareness
to begin
fill
again.
every corner
Not
of
from
your
effort,
body.
but
The
from
peace you
ease.
feel right now
You've
is
done
not
the
fragile.
hardest part.
It's foundational.
You've remembered how
it's
to
not
be
something
here.
you need to chase.
And this
or
is what
hold
it
on
feels
to.
like to be
It's
truly
something
awake,
that will always
to
be
move
waiting
slowly
for you
in
the
a
moment
fast
you
world,
decide to
to stay
return.
soft in a hard
Because
one.
that's what to remain
Awakening
open when
really
everything
means
tells you
not
to
becoming
close.
more, but
That's
remembering
real
that
strength.
you already are.
That's what peace
You
looks
open
like
your
when it
eyes
stands
every
tall.
morning.
So as
Light
this morning
spills across the
continues,
room and
you
brushes
don't need
your
to
skin.
hold on to these words.
The world begins to
They'll
move.
hold on to
Alarms
you.
ring, messages
They'll
blink.
echo in your
The
breath.
hum of life
in your
grows
heartbeat.
louder.
And
yet,
in the way you look at
something
the world
inside you
today
stays still.
and when the world starts
Your
to
body
pull you
wakes,
again,
but your soul
when noise
hesitates,
tries to drown
lingering
out this
somewhere
silence,
between yesterday
remember,
and now.
you know
You
the way
breathe,
back.
walk,
You've built
work,
the bridge.
Speak.
You've felt
but
the
somewhere
difference
beneath the surface,
and
you
know,
can return
you're
here
functioning,
to this
not
calm,
feeling.
this clarity.
You're awake.
This home inside you,
but not alive.
anytime you choose.
Your body rises
because
faithfully
awakening
each
is
day,
not a moment you
while
reach.
your spirit hides
It's a
under
rhythm you
layers
return
of
to.
noise. The
And
lists
each
waiting
time
to
you
be
return,
checked off. You
the
rise
endless
a little
scrolling,
higher.
the
The
quiet
morning
ache to be
doesn't
enough.
just rise outside
The world
you
keeps
anymore.
spinning.
It rises
and you
through
keep up.
you, smiling
That
when you
golden
should,
light
replying
you see
when
on the
expected,
horizon is your own
nodding
reflection.
even when you're miles
soul
away
remembering
inside
itself.
and
And
though
in
no
that
one
light,
around you seems
one
to
truth
notice,
remains clear.
A soft
You were
voice
never
does,
just awake.
a whisper buried
You
deep
were meant
beneath
to be
thought.
alive.
It
Welcome
speaks
back,
just before you
not
silence
to
the
the world,
alarm,
but to
a
yourself
breath before you remember who you need to be. It says, "This can't be all there is." That whisper is your soul remembering. It's the most honest part of you, the part that knows existence was never meant to be mechanical. It doesn't want you to run from your life. It wants you to wake differently inside it, because most people wake up to survive the day. But you were meant to wake up to create it. Look again at the light on your walls. It's not just brightness.
its energy waiting for your attention. Each sunrise is an invitation to rewire the mind, a sacred reset that begins the moment you breathe consciously. Your brain recalibrates its rhythm, your body synchronizes to your thoughts, your emotions choose which reality you will perceive. Whatever you feel now becomes the frequency that guides your entire day. That's not poetry, that's physiology. The science of consciousness meeting the mystery of spirit. You are both experiment and miracle at once. But here's the truth most never see. You don't transform your life by changing what you do. You transform it by changing who you are while doing it. The energy you bring to each moment shapes what it becomes. If your mornings begin in rush, you will spend the day chasing your own noise. But if you begin in awareness, the world begins to mirror your calm. That's why this space exists, to remind you that awakening is not an event. It's a practice. It's the art of remembering, over and over, that you are more than your habits, more than your thoughts, more than the mask of being busy. So before you reach for your phone, before you step into the demands of the day, pause here, breathe, close your eyes, even as the sun rises.